Welcome back, friends, to Watch Closely. It's a weekly show where we take a closer look at the world of movies, streaming, and shows. I said it wrong. Oh my gosh. How many times has it been? Thank you guys for joining us on this special Memorial Day weekend. Today, I am joined by a man who usually hates Mondays, but not this week. It's a 3-day weekend. Ernie, how you doing, bro? You're muted. You're muted. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right, dude. Here, let me say it again. Hello, my friend. I am doing fantastic. Thank you. I love that you're like muted. You know, I was very psyched to start off. Like psyched as I do the episode,
As
and
you
then all of a
should
sudden, as I should, right? But all of a sudden, it freaking muted on me. How many times you had? It's what did we used to say? When we used to mess up, do you recall this? We used to say it has to happen.
Show must go on. Oh, it had to happen. It
had to happen. There was because you would always like mess up that beginning for whatever reason when we would record before it was a live thing. Do you remember this?
Yeah, it used to be tradition. I think
it was tradition. That's what it's called. Tradition.
Yeah.
It's tradition to make it.
Because I'd always start it, and I would get the intro. This was back when before we even did lives, right? Like we would record, and I would be so nervous that I would mess up the intro, like I did right now. But then I'd stop and I'd be like, "Okay, let's do it over." Now you just gotta go with it, right? You just gotta the show must go on. Like it's fine. You mess up, you keep going. It's all right. But how are you doing, bro? How's your 3-day Memorial week?
Great, dude. What was that?
So far, I say.
So far, I mean, well, it started for me Friday. I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. I have 4 days actually. Off, which is gonna be
has 4 days too, and I'm jealous.
I don't know I don't know what they did, but what do you guys? Oh, I'm not doing anything for Memorial Day, but my wife's off, so we're thinking of like trying to figure out something to do, and we're like, should we hit up the family? And I think some of the family's working, so we're like, oh, we'll just kind of stay home and do something else with the kid, but I don't know, we'll see.
I feel like barbecuing, really, to be honest. Like I feel like grilling something. Like
that sounds good, man. Yeah, we'll probably end up doing that too. Are you inviting me, or are you just telling me your plans?
Well, I mean, we can work it out. It's it's not up to me, right? It's up to the wives.
It's up to the wives. That's when you'll probably get your poke nachos you've been asking about.
Yes, dude, I've been so craving. So we had that Oscar party like a while back, and your wife made these really tasty poke nachos that she made from a recipe. It was so good, and she made a mountain of them. And I think there were like leftovers too, but we just I had a bunch of them, and I've been craving them ever since.
Yeah, I think there's a good salmon. I think we might have gotten it at some Korean shop called H Mart or something like that, but I don't know. I'm gonna say maybe we can get it at Costco. Might be cheaper, and we get it more in abundance because I feel like we might have ran out of salmon. Is probably the issue was, but I don't remember because we had so many.
Movie that the dish was tied to the whale, right? Because it's like loosely.
I don't remember. I don't know if I was the whale or was it the Way of Water. It wasn't the Way of Water.
Oh yeah, the Way of Water.
The Avatar or something like it was. And I forgot what we even called it because they all had themed names, right? I think I think I made hot dogs, and it was the power of the hot dog or something like that.
It was the power of the dog, yeah.
And then it was fun, and then I took a picture of Benedict Cumberbuns, dude. But Cumberbatch, but buns, we call him buns. He's all butt naked in one of the shots, and I took a screenshot of that and I printed it, and it was the hot dog was his wiener. Do you remember this one?
I think I do. Yeah.
I never posted that, but I thought it was hilarious. It was funny as heck in my head, but as I saw it, I'm like, man, this is probably not that great, but it was pretty funny. Oh man,
the power of the dog. That's right.
The power of the hot dog.
Well, thank you guys for joining us on this 3-day Memorial weekend. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Gotta shout out the show. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, or your friends and family haven't subscribed yet, let them know. We love talking movies here. We're like, trying to get those numbers up. Ernie's trying to pay for his A-list, as we always say.
I know. I already have. I finally got A-list. I was telling Jason about this. My wife got it for us for like 3 months. So she got herself and then me, and I got to see. Well, we're gonna talk about it later, but we got to see Garfield. This is like the first movie I saw on A-list, and then I think Furiosa is gonna be next, and I want to watch that like soonish. I wanted to watch it on Monday, but I think Memorial Day everything's closed. Yeah,
I don't think the movies are closed. Usually the movies are open for like holidays, right? Like Christmas. I don't know. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I'll look it up and I'll let you guys know because I feel like that's like such a good day to like to go watch a movie because you literally aren't doing anything.
Yeah, I think they bank on the fact that not a lot of people are at work, right? So I think they'd want those numbers up. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of. I would say this week is a little bit of a lighter news, but we had a couple things we wanted to check out. Let me see if we can pull up some of the notes.
Oh yeah, dude, it's open, guys.
Yeah, it should be open.
Yeah, so oh man, I'm gonna go see that movie. Well, unless we go to the barbecue, we'll
yeah,
see.
that's true. I just wanted to say thank you guys for all the people that voted on the poll. I unpinned it, but we did a poll because we were wanting to do like a Memorial Day cast, and we didn't know what day to do it on. So thank you guys for voting. Saturday evening was the winner, so here we are, and yeah, it's fun. It's weird because it's like a different day, but I'm enjoying it. I think it's a good time.
I think we did the different day when we did Challengers review. That was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because we were going on. We're doing. I was right before I went on vacation. But I wanted to get into this though, bro. So we went and saw the Garfield movie, and we saw it with your daughter, which was really fun. And I wanted to get your thoughts, like overall, because I think there's two perspectives, right? Like you can say, like for me personally as an adult, but then there's also like watching it with your daughter. Like, what did you think, bro? What was your thoughts overall?
So, yeah, I'm glad that you said that there's like two ways to look at it for this particular film. Watching it through the eyes of my daughter vicariously, because it's interesting to watch a kid. Well, she's like 2.5. She's gonna be 3, right? And the attention span is a little, huh?
I was like, don't ask me. Like,
I thought you don't know. No, but it's just like, no. The reason I say it's because she's gonna be 3 in October, but like, what we're like half. We're gonna be on the 6th in a week or so, 6 months. Sorry, in the year, whatever. But it doesn't matter. But yeah, so her attention span is like good. But you know how kids are, they get restless, right? So she did get restless at one point, and it was like maybe the halfway mark. And we'll get into the halfway mark. Is Jason noticed something pretty interesting during that point. I don't know if you want to get into that actually right now. Do you want to say that or no? Not yet.
Yeah, that was one of my big takeaways. Is like a good quality kids movie. Usually, they're when you're testing it with an audience, you kind of kids have a certain attention span. And my wife was actually saying like our nephew Ryan it'd probably be a really good movie tester, right? Because he has no problem being like, okay, I'm done, I'm bored with this, let's move along. Like he like moves on to the next thing. And there was a point. Okay,
I was gonna say, but also those kids, they're not like Ryan in particular, but like kids like of his like age group and like a little bit above, like Brandon. They're those people that watch TikToks that are like watching a gameplay while someone is telling a story, and it's like 2 videos at once. Like, why do you need to be doing that? Do you ever do that?
It works for me. I
like it too. I'm not gonna lie to you, but you know what I mean. Like that's like a thing. That's like an attention span thing. Like the other day, it was like my wife. I was reading. It was like some guy playing Subway Runner or something like that. And it's like his character is going back and forth, left and right, collecting coins. And it's my wife left me, and she left me for my brother. And it's like, dude, it's a story. And I'm like,
right, they're playing.
Just like, like I'm here. Like for both things, it's crazy. But go ahead. Sorry, I apologize. I just wanted to say that.
No, I agree with you. Like there's something about when you have to, especially if it's a talking one, like if there's a lot of information that's being fed at you, you need to have something else that kind of keeps your attention there so you can kind of absorb what they're saying, but it's also fun. And they try to do it a little bit with some of the exposition where like they had Odie in the background. He's doing like sweeping the floors and he's like building something in the background. And it's like, okay, what's going on there? But there's a point in the movie where the exposition and like the plot has to like set up, right? And they just start talking and right away you hear it because we were in a theater with a lot of kids. Like we're probably
it was pretty full. It was like not like crazy. Show. Yeah, it wasn't crazy full, but it was full of people. Like I didn't expect that many people, but it was full.
It was a good amount. I mean?
It was a good amount of people. Yeah,
and a lot of them were kids, and you could hear at a certain point in the movie where they started expositioning, and like the kids, like you'd hear the rumblings and the groanings, like the shiftings in the seats, like I'm tired, like I'm bored, let's do something else, right? And I was like, oh, okay, that's the point where they should have tightened it up a bit.
Yeah, and it's crazy because a lot of the kids got up and left, and they didn't come back.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
quite
oh,
a
they
few.
probably just went to use the bathroom or whatever. I hadn't noticed until you said something. I was like watching my daughter eating my nachos and stuff, and then Jason had said, "Look at what did you say?"
There's like a family to the left
You,
of us,
yeah, you said
and
something. I
they got
forget how
up.
you said it or what you said, but you basically this. You're like the kids are losing their attention or something like that. You said, and so I was paying attention and I saw a group of like people leaving, and I'm like, holy cow, he's right. Like it's crazy. And the to go back to my review, like the movie isn't terrible, but it isn't that great. I mean, my daughter has a good attention span for particular films. Like she likes a lot of movies. Like we watch movies. That's like our thing. We'll watch something, and I love that about her. And so she was watching it, and she thought it was cute. She picked up a lot of little things. We'll talk about it like a little later, but she was telling me, Amelia, she like my daughter, she was saying that she like after the movie had ended, she told me she liked it, like she enjoyed it. So she asked me to watch it again. I'm like, you want to watch it again? It's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'm surprised. Like I thought she was like gonna, not really care for it, but she liked it. I was more surprised that she didn't tell me that was Mario's voice. I think I was telling
Oh,
you this about what was I
I
telling
know.
you?
I feel like kids would have been like, "That's Mario." Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
because he sounds like it. But Chris Pratt, she loves the Super Mario movie, and I forgot what movie she was watching. What did I tell you, Jason? Do you recall this? It was a while ago, and she heard Chris Pratt's voice in like either Jurassic World or something, and she said, "Oh, it's Mario or something." I forget. I had said it on the cast. It's a while ago, but it was funny because
I forget when the movie was. Yeah.
but she was, yeah, she had told me. So I was thinking that she was going to do that. I want to get into this just a little bit, not like crazy review, but we need voice actors. Like we need to differentiate between certain like like characters. Like I like Chris Pratt a lot, but it's like he is just Chris Pratt. Like you send me a TikTok where it's like three different voices Chris Pratt does, and it's like Mario, Garfield, and what was the other one?
The Lego Movie.
The Lego Movie. And he tells you, "Oh, I do this, I go a little higher, I do this," and there's a little slight difference, but it's like it's Chris Pratt. Had you gotten a voice actor, you could like genuinely tell that some voice actors can like just be completely different, and it's like they need to keep their jobs. You know what I mean? Like we don't always need a big named actor to push a movie role. I think
Mhm.
that's a bad thing. I think you guys like I don't know. I'm surprised like no not a lot of voice actors are like rising up. Maybe there is talk about it on a podcast or something that we don't listen to or something, but I just feel like there's got to be something done about this, right? It's like they're taking all their good jobs. Like they could have been a different because we got Bill Murray last time and that was not good. Actually, I like the Bill Murray voice. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, the original voice of Garfield is so iconic, and he was a voice actor too, right? I
Yeah,
think that you're right. I think the testament to that is if you watched the new X Men or even the old X Men, right? They had the original cast, the original voice actor cast, and like you can't tell like, oh, that's a famous actor, right? It just becomes that character, right? Like it's like, oh, I'm watching Wolverine, I'm
yeah. I'm
watching
watching
Magneto
Wolverine talk. Yeah, I just know Wolverine. Yeah, I agree with you. It's like when I watch Dragon Ball Z. Like I know that
with a
voice of
distinct
Goku.
voice. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm like, and no one does that voice. Like that's not a. It's
and
really crazy.
there's something about voice actors too, where they are so in tune with what they're doing and how they when they speak into the mic they're trying to pull out the maximum amount of emotion and amount of like you know it's almost like a cartoon where they stretch things, they pull things like in a cartoon form, right? It's a squish, the way they squish and animate,
Yeah,
like it's the same thing with their
they have an
voice.
embodiment of a particular character for sure. Like it's crazy. Like I watched the guy from Dragon Ball Z that does Goku's voice, and I forget his name off the top of my head. I'm sorry, but I watched him do a fight scene for one of the new movies where he fights Broly, and I think he's like getting hurt, and they show you his live reaction of the guy just doing it, and he's like, like, but the way he's doing it, I'm like, holy cow, like he's acting it out, but in like voiced. You know what I mean? It's like it's
Is
just
it
it's
Sean Chamel
yeah, I
or is
think
that the
so. Yeah,
American guy?
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, the American one is the one I watch. Um, I've watched like a few Japanese versions of it. Yeah, Sean Shamel. I've watched a few Japanese ones. I believe me, the English one is really, really good.
Yeah, you
It's
said
far
you
by
really
far
like the
better.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the best. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say otherwise. Everyone always goes like, no, that's pretty good for English, because like, you know, everyone is like, when you go to watch anime, it's like you either watch it in dub, or I mean, sorry, you watch it in sub, or you're not watching it right. That's like
That's right.
how a
A
lot of people
true
feel.
version or
The
nothing.
true
Yeah.
version is, yeah, exactly. Like, but I don't. I don't. I like it either way.
So I will say that the going back to the movie, I liked a lot of it. I liked the animation. I thought it was really clever how like when he's sleeping, it looks just like the way they drew it in the comics. Like the animation style is great. And look at like he's adorable. And like when he's like a little
A
let me
little
go back to
baby.
when he's a little baby. That's the one part I was sad that I missed. So I got there a couple minutes late because I just hit traffic and I missed all the little baby stuff. And my wife was asking me like, "Would you want to go watch it again?" And I would want to watch it for the opening scenes because I missed
And then
those.
just go back home and then leave like those people did.
Well, so here's the thing. I think the movie has a lot of good stuff. Like it's just the middle, bro. The middle is the part that drags, and the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie are so much. They're almost like slightly different, and then they had to pad it, right? I feel like they had to pad it to make it a full feature length. I mean, it's a short movie. What is it, like an hour and a half? I don't
Yep.
think it's even. Yeah, is it an hour and a half?
An hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's still kind of long for a kids movie, though.
It was, but it didn't feel long. I will say that. Like, I think watching it, and this is coming from a dad, you know what I mean? Like, it's different to the perspective of myself,
Sure.
like to the kid, because I'm like, I don't know how you guys are. I have like anxiety about the kid. I don't want her to like lose her crap like while we're watching the movie and be like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
Just
know.
throw a fit, yeah.
Like, we don't know. Like, I mean, she's pretty good, but what if this particular day she didn't have her nap and she's like, I've had it, you know what I
Right.
mean? And but she's great. The kid is great. Like, I've never had that issue. But I'm just saying, like, I just worry about that. So I was thinking that I'm like, man, I wonder if she's gonna be able to, you know, stay up like watching this movie this long.
Mhm.
And so I didn't feel like it was that long. I thought it was like perfectly paced in terms of like what they were showing you. But I think, like you said, there is that lull period of the middle where like they're
Mhm.
trying to tie it all together. And without repeating myself, because I don't want to repeat what
They're
you're
trying to
saying,
set up the story.
but yeah,
Yeah.
it's that setup of the story that's like, okay, this is why they're gonna do what they need to do, right? And then I
Right.
think it gets to towards like the like the ending where they're kind of showing you
The third act.
why yeah, the third act, like why the father sort of did what he did, or what's like the backstory. And like my at that point my daughter was like a little bit more intrigued by what was going on, and I noticed it because she's like, oh, like she's
Right.
very like that, like she understands emotion, she understands what's going on screen. And so she's like, oh, why is that, like what's going on, like, you know, she was thinking, I think I was talking to you about that, or she was asking you, but I don't think you understood her, you know, but she was asking you about like
Oh,
why is that happening or whatever.
there were certain things where she would say stuff and I didn't know what she said. I'd be like, "Oh, yeah." Like,
You're all,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
do.
She's
Yeah.
like, the uncle, they died. And you're all, yeah, yeah, yeah.
No.
No, they didn't die, but
But yeah, like it's something about the setup and it's funny cuz there's a lot of parts that are really well written and they're scenes, right? They're scenes that they wanted to like they knew they wanted to throw at you and they worked, but you had to get through some of the stuff that wasn't that good to get to those scenes. And I think that's the part that kind of fell flat for me. Like, this was supposed to be direct. This is directed by the same person that did Emperor's New Groove. This cat is one in particular. Um, the Hannah Waddingham's character. There's like this. She's like a mischievous cat, as all cats are, you know. But she reminds me so much of the cat. If you have you seen Emperor's New Groove? There's a cat just like this.
my wife
And I
has a little pop socket that says "I win" or whatever
yeah, it's
with a little
from
picture
I
of
mean,
it. Yeah,
classic movie. This one is not as tight, right? As the I think I think it because goes back to like classic Disney too. Like they did a lot of research, right? They did a lot of market testing when they do those classic animation films. Like they see what works, what's not working, and I think that's just this problem. It's like everything is there. The animation's there. The voice acting's they're doing a decent job. I agree with you that they should have done better like talent as far as like the pool, but it was okay, right? Like they were doing their jobs. It was passable. The story was there. It could have had a little bit more funny moments. There's some pacing, right? I think the pacing in the middle is what what got it the most.
Yeah. May I ask you a question? And I want to see if you know how you feel about this. But you were saying that the story isn't as classic as some of the other stuff, and do you believe that that is due to it not being catered to you as an audience when you were younger? Because this is essentially this is for the new age of kids, right? I mean, a lot of the comedy, man, there's like these little notes of the comedy in the movie that resemble a lot of the newer stuff that's going on now. Do you know what I mean? And I think like so I don't know if how you felt about that. That's my question, I guess.
I think the comedy, like the concepts of the comedy on paper works. Like a lot of like you know, there's like Netflix references, and there's like even like a Top Gun reference in there. Like I understand what they're doing. It's just that the delivery of it needed to be tighter, right? Like it wasn't. It just didn't hit. A lot of some of the jokes just fell flat, and you could hear in the audience, right? There wasn't like this like chuckles from the kids or from the adults. It was just kind of like it hit and then it landed and then it moved on, right? And I feel like they tried to cram in too much exposition where it was just here's what we got to do. Like you got to set it up faster, right? Like I think like I was trying to compare it to Emperor's New Groove, and like there is a lot of exposition in the beginning about Cusco wanting to build his pool or whatever, and the guy has to come over, and but the way they do it though, each little segment that they have to bring you to that exposition is like done in funny ways. So they needed to take all those moments and kind of craft little funny bits around them. And I don't know. I think like you're saying, like the jokes are more modern. That's fine. Like I think it works. It just needs to be tightened.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it just needs to be done a lot better. My daughter recently has been more of a visual, like that's her comedy style. So like, there's a moment where Garfield is, you know, hitting a tree to a tree to a tree to a tree, and it's like hitting a goat to you know, and he's like, it's when he's trying to get on a train. I think it's part of one of the clips.
Right, he's being
slingshotted back, and she laughed, and I heard her laughing, and I don't know if you heard her, but I was like, she was laughing at that, and I heard another kid laugh at that as well. It was like one of those like you know, one of those kids things. But
that was a good moment. I thought those were funny.
That's just like that physical comedy, like that visual thing. It wasn't like the jokes that you're saying that they, you know, they did say them but they didn't land. Like
I think that goes back to also like the knowing your audience too. This is definitely for younger kids, right? It's supposed to be hitting that 4-quadrant family movie.
Yeah, but I think it's just I just didn't work as well. Like for instance, like the movie Shrek, right? The movie Shrek isn't really for kids, but like kids can go watch it and enjoy it, and they have these adult humor moments where like they'll say like look at his castle, you think he's compensating for something. You and I understand
that goes
joke,
right over their heads,
but it goes over their head. But it's like,
yeah.
But it's like there's more things like that like will come out in the movie. Like I have to save my ass, and kids are like, "Ha, he said ass," you know, stuff like that. That'll like.
But it's like a bright and colorful, like the way they do it, like there's things happening right on the screen. Like look at this scene, for example, where there's a lot of exposition in this scene. It's not colorful. It's not bright. Like you have to get down to like the bare basic fundamentals of it needs to be bright, colorful to keep the kids' attention, right? Things need to be moving, things to be happening. This is like such a dull scene. And it makes sense to us because of like the situation where he's in, but things need to happen. Like they just need like, yeah, there was a lot of like little montage moments that went over the kids' heads as well. I will say though, like Odie was really adorable. I really liked Odie.
He was cute.
I would get a little plushie of Odie. He was pretty cool. I wanted more. Actually, the more I think about it, the more I wanted to see like the antics in the house. I really wanted him to spend more time in the house and just like being Garfield that we know in the comics. I know we've gotten some of that in like some of the other iterations, but I wanted to see more in this one. Like I said, I thought the dynamic with the father, it's so funny. I was watching reviews of people and it's so polarizing. Some people really hated it and some people really liked it. And I think it just depends on whether or not those emotional moments hit for people. I think it worked for me. Like there was like some moments where I was really into it. Like I was feeling the feels. But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's just there's a middle part you got to get through.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I kept thinking about Samuel Jackson's voice in the movie, And there was this particular line that he delivers in this other movie where he plays another cat, and it's called Paws of Fury: The Legend of Hank. And he goes, "What the mother cocker spaniel? What the mother father cocker spaniel?" You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
And for whatever reason, I kept thinking, man, he's gonna say something like that, but he did not. And I don't know why. It was like the same, essentially the same sort of like Samuel Jackson. You know what I mean? And that's not a bad thing. It's just like he didn't add more to the character. If I you
Right.
know.
And that goes back to what you're saying about the voice actors, right? You didn't like that takes you out of the movie when you're trying to figure out who's the voice actor, right? You should be focusing on the story instead of be like, I know this guy. Who is it?
Exactly.
And
Yeah. See that's the thing. It's like I feel like I
and
mean,
like the
go ahead.
dog, right? The dog, we were like, we recognize his voice from whatever, and you're like, oh, that's the guy from what's the Apple TV show with the soccer players?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot his name right now. Roy Kent.
Roy Kent, right? But
Roy
that was
Kent. But
like
I don't know his name
that was
right
like a
now.
part in the movie where I was like, I know this, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's Roy Kent from what was it Ted Lasso? And
So, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's see. His name is
is it?
Brent
Is it?
Goldstein. Brett
There he is.
Goldstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But see, we didn't need that much of a star-studded cast. I will say though that Vin Rames
Oh,
did a fantastic job.
oh yeah.
I
He's
loved
he's
Otto.
sweet, dude. Angus Cloud. He passed away. That guy. Snickers.
Oh yeah, we just
He
watched that.
passed away not long
What was that
ago.
movie that he did? What was it called? There's like a murder mystery movie or something where
Mm,
and
I'm not
it
sure.
said in memoriam of, and I was like, oh man, this guy passed away. Um,
Yeah,
I
I
guess I
forget
could
what it
click on
was.
his name and find out for you. Abigail. Abigail's the last one he was in.
Oh, interesting.
I guess it wasn't really a murder mystery, but he was. Yeah, he was in that movie too. He was one of the victims. I won't spoil anything, but
We already spoiled it. He's a victim. Um, no worries.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So what like overall? What were your thoughts? Like, is it? Would you recommend people taking their kids to
Uh,
watch this? Would you watch it
um,
again?
Probably not. I'd probably wait for this one to stream for the kids. I give it. What did we say? 3 Ernies out of 5.
3 out of 5,
Because
Ernie.
yeah, because like it wasn't a bad movie, and like I'd recommend it because it's still very cutesy. It has a very heartwarming story at one point. Like it's very like look at the little big cat's eyes. Look at that, dude. It's adorable. It's cute. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot to love here, but it just it falls flat. I think personally for me, like I think man, I'm a big fan of like the Despicable Me movies. Like you know what I mean? Like the like Super Mario, love that. And this is me as an adult. Like I love the cartoons. I watch those things. Had I not had my daughter, I still probably would have watched this. You know what I mean? But seeing it through the eyes of my daughter, this for her, like for Amelia, this is probably a 4. Like she
Mm,
liked it a lot because it was cutesy. It's
four out
visually
of five.
appealing to her. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's appealing to the kid. Um, if I
Oh
put
my
it
gosh.
on, go ahead.
Can we call out like how much product placement was in this movie?
Oh, I'm so glad that you brought that up. I wanted to say that too. Yeah, dude. It what did we
So much
get?
product
What did we
placement.
get? We got Pop Chips, we got
Olive
Subway, I think,
Garden, we got
Olive Garden.
Pepsi, we got all kinds of stuff, bro.
It
Like
was
it was
crazy. If you know how they, I
there
don't
was
know,
like a Robo Rock, a robot like the robot vacuum. Like that was
it's wild,
branded.
dude.
Everything
Yeah,
was branded. It was crazy.
it's wild because this is what movies and television shows are gonna want to do eventually in the future. So rather than like have you have a commercial where it's like, get a Fanta thirst, get to crunch your thirst, you know, whatever. It's gonna be just in the movie. Man, I need this Fanta to crunch my thirst, you know, or whatever. Like that. This is the future.
Yeah.
Do you ever seen the movie? Man,
Oh, I remember Heinz
Idiocracy.
ketchup was bro. Sorry, go ahead.
Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yeah, I've seen it. It was a
Okay,
while
so
ago
if
though.
you guys go back and watch that, there's a guy who's talking, and then while he's talking, I forget what the brand is, but yeah, I'm trying to be the president or something, and he's like, brought to you by something something like some brand, and he's like, why do you keep saying that? And he's like, because I get paid every time I say it, and I think it's Idiocracy, man. I got to look this up, but it's freaking hilarious. I kind of want you guys to, but yeah, continue. Sorry, while I look
Product
for this.
placement. Brought to you by Starbucks. Yeah.
Idiocracy. At advertising. Let's see if I can. Oh, here it is. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. Continue. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. I don't know where it is.
I mean, there's a lot of product placement, like the Pepsi and the, yeah.
Oh, I think it's Carl's Jr. That's what it is. It's every time he says Carl's Jr., they pay him or something like that.
Oh, that's funny. I was gonna look up the numbers before we talked about. I want to know how this movie's doing, because I think it is a good family movie, but you just be warned, like parents, if you're gonna go take your kids, like there is a slow middle. But let me see. I heard that the movie it's made 57 worldwide, and it's only been out for it's the first weekend it's been out, so it's been out for a couple days. So we'll see. We'll see if it makes its money back. I'm surprised that it hasn't gotten like the Chris Pratt effect, Like
Yeah.
it seems like
it's because you can't see him. I found the clip, but how do I just send it to you? Oh, private chat. There you go. I'm gonna send it to you so you can let's see if you can you put it up on the streamer now. I really want
I could
to
try.
It's he says brought to you by Carl's Jr.
There's an ad. Let's see if
Oh.
yeah, there's an ad. Oh, here we go.
I'm the Secretary of State. Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Brought to you by Carl's Jr. Oh my god.
I told you. That's how it's gonna be.
I keep saying that.
Because they pay me every time I do. It's a really good way to make money. I'm the Secretary of State.
Brought to you by Carl's Jr. That's good. That's good.
I'm so glad that I got to tell you that, because I freaking came up in my head as you were talking about the advertising.
So let's go run through the box office as of right now. Let me make sure we're on the right day. Furiosa is at number 1 with 10 million, and then we got Garfield at number 2 at 8 million. This is just domestic, right? This is If is at number 3 with 46. It's been out for 8 days since release. So If I don't know what the budget. Let's see if the budget was. Do you know what the budget was for?
I don't, but I don't think it made its money back, if I'm not mistaken.
Production budget was 110. I mean, it's getting there. It's at 70, but yeah, you have to factor in marketing, right? Like, I don't think it's doing that well. I still kind of want to see it just to see what happens. I know we were debating between this, and I think it's gonna get wrecked by Garfield, right? Because it's a little bit more of a 4 quadrant.
You know what's wild to me, friend? We got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes number 4, and then number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, The Fall Guy.
Fall Guy, yeah.
That movie is already digital, if I'm not mistaken. It's like out digital, right?
I think so. I think I saw that you can pre-order it, or you can watch it.
That is so wild. That is a great movie to see in theaters.
Yeah, that one is one of the ones that I really wish more people would watch it in theaters, because dude, it's such and it's like, what more do you want, right? It's original material. I mean, it is loosely based on an old IP, but right, it's original story. It's not a remake. It's not a sequel.
I don't even think the being unoriginal of something really helps it at all, because it's like such a niche thing. It's like not a lot of people are like, I remember the Fall Guy show. Like, that's not a thing. I think you just are attracted there because Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, kind of thing. But I think
you would think that would be the draw.
That's like the big draw. But I think the movie's really, really great. I'm not sure.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I'm not sure what it is that is just
I don't know.
driving
this was like a thing that people were speculating. Did people know this is going to be dropped on streaming like quickly, because it was only out in theaters for about like 2 or 3 weeks, and then
that's
it just
so
dropped
bad,
on digital.
Man. That sucks.
It's not good, bro. Like, it's a really good movie. The thing that here's my theory. Actually, did I tell you about my theory? The reason why
please.
I think it failed was the marketing, and I think what they should have done for the marketing is they should have advertised this as a stunts movie, right? It's the Fall Guy. It should have been. They should have really pushed that we are doing these stunts for real. Everything is like mostly, for the most part, in camera, right? They should have promoted the heck out of that car flip scene. Like, that would have been a great way to sell this movie, on top of the Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt thing. But they just promoted it as a generic rom-com. And then when you go to watch this movie, like, I was smiling watching this whole movie, like, oh, they actually did that. Oh, they actually, like, when he gets hit by a car, you're like, it's a guy getting hit by a car. Like you could tell how many stunt doubles were in this movie.
I think the big draw point, I think the why they chose to do that is because of Ryan Gosling, because your wife or my wife likes Ryan Gosling on screen. They're like, we need to go watch this rom-com.
But did you know Ryan Gosling was doing stunts? Like he was.
Oh, I mean, we do. You know what I mean?
Right,
like
but not
you
the
and
general
I,
audience.
not the general audience. Yeah, but you and I, who like obviously we watch movies and like we're doing this podcast, like we know, but everyone else doesn't know. It looks like a straight up rom-com with a little bit of action. Yeah. It's not like it's not super over the top like they should have been sold. And you're probably right. Yeah, I mean, it could have been that. It could have been
because people love the Chris Nolan effect, right? When you go watch a Chris Nolan film, like he loves to have things in camera, right? Like he loves to have as much as he can in the camera, in the lens, like not, of course he has special effects, but it's the ones that are like in the background. Like he does it for polishing and stuff. This is one of those movies where you should watch it for the artistry and like the technicality of it and like the way it's made.
It's not a big selling point. You know what I mean? I can't go.
People love that stuff. Everyone's like, oh, there's too much CG, and then they will go back to the old school Star Wars. And it's like it's practical effects.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I can't go up to like I wouldn't be able to go to my brother-in-law and be like, you should go watch this movie because the practicality of these stunts is amazing. He's gonna be like, oh well, okay.
No, but
you know what I mean? Like
I'm not the marketing guy, right? But like you could totally spin Ryan Gosling was dropped from 8 floors for Emily Blunt in this movie, like for real, right? Like there's something to that. I feel like they missed I missed some opportunity there.
I was made for loving you, baby. Like that
soundtrack, right?
That was a good song, dude. I was playing on the way back, but this is random. Before I forget, Chase, man,
go ahead.
I speak. Do you want to go watch Imaginary tomorrow? Are you free?
Probably.
Let's go watch it with Alex if she's down. In front of the cast, of course. But we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to bring that up before I forgot. Because I could have texted you. I did just see. It's funny because friends of the cast, you guys don't see this, but Jason texted me. He said, and this is pretty funny because it sounds weird. I need you to go hard.
It's because we were starting the cast. And I was like, I need the energy, bro. Bring that. I was trying to pump him up,
Yeah, he was. He pumps me up pretty well. That
and he got
weird
nervous.
too. And he's like, I want Furiosa levels. And I was gonna tell you this. I was like, this is awesome. But yes, dude, you got me, dude. I'm here. I'm ready. Dude.
We need to talk about Furiosa. Should we? Can I?
Please.
Can I talk about it just a little bit? Because
you know,
talk about it.
I have. Let me start off by saying. Let me preface by saying this or whatever the word I'm trying to say here. But Jace, I have not, or friends of the cast, I have not seen this movie. I had a weird. I'll tell the story, dude.
He almost saw this movie. Go ahead.
Let me tell my story.
Go ahead. Tell me.
So, I became an A-list member yesterday for this particular movie to go watch this movie. Me and my wife bought our A-list, and I got my email. I set everything up, and I was ready to go, right? And I went to go see freaking Garfield that morning. That night, we were going to get tickets to Furiosa. My wife's, for whatever reason, email for A-list did not show up. There was like nothing I can do.
Ooh, can I tell you? Can I tell him why though?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So this just happened to be on the eve or the week where Google decided we are going to restructure our Google Plus plan or Google One plan. And so now all the photos, everything is all bundled into like your overall data, right? Because Google gives you a certain amount of hard drive, right?
That. You're so right.
Same thing happened to me where I was on like the low tier plan, and then Google decides, we're just gonna lump in all the photos that you take and all the videos that you take, and that will be part of like if you want more terabytes, you gotta pay more, right? So everybody gets these notices. You're out of memory.
So bad.
You can't do anything about it. And so her email, right?
Yeah, basically the email screws you over. Yeah,
Yeah.
So I told her I was like, Diana, you're not gonna get anything. Like you're screwed right now. And I looked at her gigabytes or whatever. I ended up buying her a month, or I got the one for free or whatever. I got her the plan till this day. still hasn't come. So I have not been able to watch this movie. I've been waiting for her.
It's probably because it was sent that one time and like it's just lost. It's just
I'm gonna try to resend it again shortly as you're talking about this movie. So I brought that up. The reason I brought this up, Jason, why I brought out my drama of A-list and what's going on. AMC, I'm waiting for you to contact me about this because I'm pissed. Listen, you know, it's not your fault. AMC. It's Google. But Jace, please sell this to me. I'm your audience. I am a friend of the cast. I am here to hear your thoughts and genuinely get excited because I'm like, when I heard that you had gone to see it, I was jealous. I was really jealous. I was like, man, this sucks.
This guy could have gone.
I could have been next to you. You could have been nudging me to not fall asleep, but here we are.
This is a testament to how much he loves his wife because his A-list was working. He went to see Garfield and he could have just gone. He'd be like, you know what, Dad? Sorry, but no. I gotta watch this movie.
I'll say
he was really tired though too.
I was tired. I will say this because we did end up on a lighter note. We me and my wife, since we didn't go see it, we ended up drinking some margaritas, making some chocolate chip cookies. We went to the grocery store like really late at night, and then we folded laundry, and it's like it was nice. It was really nice, and we ended up watching a movie. I forgot what we saw, but it was we saw 90 Day Fiance.
We were watching 90 Day.
Yeah, and I was like, this is wonderful. Like, it was nice. We're chilling. But go ahead, please. Furiosa. Mad Max.
So, Furiosa was 2 hours and 38 minutes, I believe. I forget how long it was. Dude, this movie is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And I'm going to try to be spoiler free. There is, I would say, noticeably more computer effects in this movie than the last one. But the way we were sitting pretty close to the front, like we were like 3 rows from the front, and I think any seat that you're in, it was good. We watched it in Dolby, right? So like there was a lot of bass rumbling in the back of our seats. These two are the ones that sell the movie. Actually, these three, these are the stars of the movie right here. She does a great job. I thought even her younger self. There's a good chunk of this movie that's another actress playing her younger version. And it's funny, I heard that originally they were trying to see if they could just de-age Charlize Theron for this role. And, you know, Charlize was having trouble with the last one, right? She was like, I don't think I want to do this again. And the director, what's his name? I just forgot the director's name. Let me check it. Sorry, I was like on a roll here, but I need to know. Oh no, what's going on? Do you remember the name of the director, bro? While I'm trying to look it up.
Man,
George Miller. There he is.
I don't know why I couldn't. I was trying to help you in my head, and I was like, dude, I forgot. I totally blanked out.
George Miller had talked to the director for the one that Anya did before with like the murder mystery one. Mm-hmm. That one is called Last Night in Soho. With Edgar Wright. And because he's like, do you think I could just de-age Charlize? And then he had seen that movie with Will Smith where he's de-aged. What's the movie? It's like Last Man or something. You know what I'm talking about? Where he meets his younger self.
Oh yeah. I forgot what it's called. I'm kind of.
Is it After Earth?
No, that's
the one with this.
I think it should be up there, man.
It's not King Richard. It's not Bel Air.
King Richard.
I don't know what it's called. It's not After Earth?
No, it's not. That's the one where his son and they go for a kid.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what it's called, bro. But there's
don't worry about it. I'll look it up. Go ahead.
There's a movie where he's basically de-aged and he finds his younger self, and like so that he's playing against himself. And what Edgar Wright and George Miller were saying was that it's distracting, right? Like you're thinking about the technology when you watch this movie instead of just paying attention to the story. And he really wanted people focusing on the story. And so he just said, okay, we're just going to cast a younger person to do Charlize's role. And he went with Anya Taylor. But dude, he did such a good job casting a younger Anya Taylor. Her name is Alila Brown for Young Furiosa, dude. She did a great job. She's in there for a good chunk of the movie too. And then it like the transition between the two, like it just was so seamless. You knew exactly who it was. You didn't have to say like, "Oh, who are we watching now?" Right? You knew, like this is still Furiosa. And then Chris Hemsworth, dude, he is chewing up the scenery in this role. Like he looks like he's having a good time. He has a lot to do. Tom Burke's in there for a little bit. He shows up, I would say, towards the third act, but mostly probably the middle. There's probably like 5 acts of this movie because of the way it's structured.
So I found out the movie, bro. It's called Gemini Man.
Gemini Man. That's the one with Will Smith. Yeah. At that, I mean, I will agree, right? When you're watching the movie, you're really curious to see what he's going to look like de-aged and whether it works, right? And I think it didn't work for a lot of it, and you are distracted. But yeah, the effects are really well done. This is definitely an adult. This is a hard R movie, I would say. Not, I mean, Ernie's seen a lot of horror movies, but it's a hard R. There's a lot of swearing. There's a lot.
When you say hard R, that's like the thing that people say.
It's not like you're watching a movie with one F word, right?
No,
it's
I know,
that
but
type of light
like,
R.
I don't know. Like the hard R thing is like a thing they say for like when people say the N word, and it's like the really negative version of it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah, or like the worst. I wouldn't say hard R, dude.
Okay, it was just a strong R. I don't know.
Yeah, strong. I'd probably change it up. It's it's a just I don't know. I just a little warning there.
It was for the adult audience for sure. Like,
I mean, I dude, Jace, if I may intervene here, I did not go into this movie thinking this is for kids. Right. Like this, I mean, Mad Max Fury Road was pretty out there too. You know what I mean? Even the original Mad Max Road Warrior, Mad Max, the original before that, they're all pretty darn like not crazy gruesome, but they have some pretty crazy moments. You know what I mean? I wouldn't expect this to be for teenagers if that, if that helps. But
was the last one with
it's Mad Max Fury Road?
Was Fury Road was rated R?
Yeah, I don't recall, but I mean, it had a bunch of stuff that was like pretty wild, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it does. Beautifully shot. I thought I was really into the aesthetic of the whole thing. I love how, so we get to see more of his world building. A lot of people are saying that without spoiling it, but like we travel a lot to different locations and it's really cool because you see how a lot of it ties together. I'm down to see more. Like I feel like he did a really good job of keeping me interested in the story and like captivate. I think he wants to do another prequel in the same realm before leading up to
Mad Max, right? With what's his face?
Yeah, with Tom Hardy.
I don't even know why they're doing that, dude. Just get Mel Gibson back, dude. Like,
dude, imagine.
Just get Mel Gibson back. Like, what? Like, we don't need prequels. I don't need a prequel. Let me know what happens to.
I didn't think I needed a prequel to Fury Road, but then I really like this movie. Like now I would watch it in succession. Like I would watch this movie and then I'd watch Fury Road. Like if I was to go back and do like a marathon of it.
Yeah.
It fits in so well.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it does a great job fitting well, but it's just like I know they're gonna do that prequel, but I'm hoping they get Mel Gibson at the last of it.
Like they'll tie in like at the very end or something.
Yeah, at the very end, it's like I don't know, man. It's just like it just looks freaking cool. I think I sent you on Twitter if I'm not mistaken, but let me double check. A poster. I'm gonna post it on the chat. Someone had here, I'm gonna send it to you on the shoot. Where is your private chat? Here you go. I'm gonna see if I can just send it to you like this. Oh no, I can't. Never mind. I don't even know how to do it.
It's funny though. We walked out of the theater and I think the general consensus was it was weird, but I was like, you know what you're getting into if you've seen the last one. And I think our sister-in-law had not seen or she didn't remember the last one. My wife remembered, but we went to see it with her sister and like she was like, that was weird. And I was like, I don't know if I like sci-fi. It's like, this is more like apocalyptical, like, is it sci-fi? I don't know if you'd qualify it as sci-fi.
I don't know.
It's sci-fi. It's kind of like Dune. Dune is sci-fi, right? But Dune has like futuristic technology, and I don't know.
Okay, I posted it on the podcast show notes, but someone had like Photoshop Mel Gibson as like the road, like what he would look like, kind of sort of as a new world warrior.
Oh, that's sweet, bro. That would look cool.
Can you show the friends of the cast?
It's just for me. It's just for me. No, yeah, like imagine. That'd be sweet.
Tell me that doesn't like I like Tom Hardy. I do, but man, Mel Gibson, come on, dude. Look how cool
looks sweet.
It looks freaking dope.
I wonder if he would do it.
AI as well. I feel like he would come back. I think like he could come back to do a lot of things. It's just like I forgot why he got canceled or whatever.
It's just Hollywood doesn't like him right now. Like,
yeah, he said something about Jewish people or something like that, if I recall. And I think he struck a chord, and so they freaking.
He just doesn't vibe with their politics right now. I think that's one of the big reasons. But yeah, dude, I agree with you though. Like it would be sweet to have him back for like the final run. I thought Chris Pratt. Chris.
Hey, whoa!
Chris Hemsworth did a great job.
Dude, you should. If we go to Comic-Con, whenever this year, whatever, I want you to dress up like that.
I'll dress up like this, dude. If you're dressing up like Furiosa, bro, like I'm down.
Which one though? Which Furiosa? Bald, long hair.
I want bald Furiosa. Like, give me this. This is what I want.
Yeah, heck yeah, you got it, dude. You got it.
She's really good though. She does a great job.
Anya Taylor-Joy is a great actor, but I like her a lot. She's awesome.
There's a moment too. It's not a spoiler, but like there's a moment where she comes up, like she kind of becomes to the point where it's like, okay, this is like where Charlize, like she looks like Charlize, right? And she looks so much like her from the back. I mean, obviously from the back, but like I thought, oh, are they putting Charlize into the movie? Like I thought, but it was her. And I thought for a second there, I was like, oh, are they gonna actually have Charlize make a cameo? But she just did so well. I don't know, man. George Miller did a great casting job with all these roles. I mean, I know she's a great actress, but everyone had a sweet role to play. All the characters were really fleshed out well. There's some like cool, like again, the world building, but like there's some really funny, innovative things of like how the world, you know, more like the cars and like the way the styling. It just has a cool aesthetic, and like even why he gets the red hair, it makes sense. And there's even after the fact, we were talking about like the cars and just the innovation that he thought about this world quite a bit. I thought when they said that there wasn't going to be that much dialogue, that it was going to be incredibly quiet like most of the movie, but there's a fair amount of dialogue. She doesn't say that much, but what she says it's good. It's like I don't think you should go in there expecting this to be a quiet place, right? Like there's a good amount of dialogue, especially from Chris Hemsworth. Like he does a lot of posturing and ranting, and like because he's got to be like an imposing threat, right? But yeah, dude, I hope I would see it again. I hope you get to see it in a big theater. I think it deserves like a big booming sub, rumble the seats type of theater. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Are you excited? Did I sell it to you? Are you excited now?
No. Like freaking Caesar, dude. No. Yeah, dude. I mean, I've been excited to see the movie. I really want to check it out. Chris Hemsworth sells it to me because how silly he is, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to see what he does. And also, we got another character named Piss Boy who knows what he is, but he's just a piss boy. You know what I mean? And right. I need to know why he's pissing.
Why is he pissed?
Why is he pissed, or why is he pissing? But it looks freaking sweet. Like I'm excited. I would have loved to have seen Charlize Theron reprise her role. Coming back. For whatever reason, she did not. But dude, Anya Taylor-Joy is dope. Like she's a great substitute, if anything.
Yeah.
I thought you said that there was. I'm sorry. Before I let you go back, there was a moment where you were talking about Charlize Theron might have been the one that came back in the shot or whatever, but it was Anya Taylor-Joy or whatever. I was thinking, like, what if she came back and then like Anya Taylor-Joy's like third eye opened up, like in Doctor Strange?
It was like,
You remember that from Doctor Strange Multiverses or whatever?
Oh my gosh. This is so much better than Doctor Strange. I will say that.
Hey, whoa, brother. We don't talk about Marvel like that. I'm sorry,
That's true,
Bob Iger. He didn't mean that. Just kidding.
Can I say though, my biggest fear was that this was going to be like you know how they're doing with the Disney is like girl bossing, right? Like we just saw Echo and it was just like, oh, like such a
Echo? What is Echo?
Remember, you forgot Echo. The girl that has her power, she's blind and she's mute and she's got the leg. She can't hear, and it's Echo. Oh, what is that show?
Where's that from? What is it?
You don't remember the show Echo? She's like the daughter of Kingpin.
Oh my gosh, dude! Marvel.
You forgot. Yeah.
That's oh my gosh. Oh my dude. Man,
it's because once it was done, you were just like, I don't want to think.
Dude, when I watched that, I was glad to be rid of it. But man, I don't remember that show right now. That was crazy. The fact that you were saying Echo to me so many times.
Like, what is Echo?
What are you even talking about, dude?
It's not memorable, right? It's not good.
I don't even remember what I do. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I do remember one thing that I thought was pretty wild. All the family goes through her.
Right, they all come together to the family, and the old lady gets superpowers or whatever. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Top.
But the reason why I brought up Echo was because it's like Disney lately has just been girl bossing like crazy, right? Like just like everything is, you know, the man has no power and the girl has the ultimate power and she's just gifted with it and like she just obtains it. This one is completely different because this is how you do like, you know, like a good alien movie with you know, with what's her face, like, and like all those girls that are in movies that are really well written, that this is like the antithesis of what Disney's doing, where it's just like you're just gifted with the powers, right? She goes through all kinds of struggle. She earns whatever power she has. She you know, this is what Star Wars should have been.
Earns the name Furiosa is what you're saying,
right? Yeah, like this is what I wish Rey had gone through, right? Like Rey needs to go through some sort of training, some sort of struggle, whatever.
No,
right?
no. They need to do a Captain Marvel and just throw her at you and tell you that she's great and you should love her. You know what I mean? That's how they should do it. Just kidding, I was talking to
not for us anymore.
It's not for us. I was talking to my brother. He's not a friend of the cast. He doesn't listen. But my eldest brother, he usually has a lot of shared sentiments like I do. Like we just kind of have the same mindset of a lot of things. And I was talking to him about the Marvels, or I don't know, we were talking about something like the Marvels, and he just like tells me, he's like, yeah, it's like what they did with Captain Marvel. They threw her at us thinking we're supposed to love her, but she's just a jerk. Yeah, I'm like,
yeah, she's not likable.
But she's not likable. And I'm like, you're right. I was like, I don't know why they did that. Like, why? Because, dude, Brie Larson's awesome. That character should have been freaking cool as heck. Like, she was dope, right? Like, she has the power of an Infinity Stone. She can take out she could mess up Thanos. Or, you know, like, I mean, she eventually gets punched down. Remember that?
He grabs the stone and punches it. And
but like,
sends her off in
you know, she could have like been pretty powerful. I mean, Scarlet Witch is pretty strong too, but like they have these like things like, but then they end up like kind of like not giving them like a proper story where things are believable. You know what I mean? I think I was talking to a friend of the cast, Lex. We're talking about movies, how some films bring out like a female protagonist and like they take on this big dude and somehow they're able to manhandle the big dude. And you're like, this is not believable. Come on, I get it. It's a movie and it's like, but come on, that's not true. It's like when you watched Indiana Jones, and this is a guy, Indiana Jones, mid-sized man, not crazy big, not buff as heck, fights a big old German dude. Remember?
Oh yeah,
and he's fighting him, and he's
struggling, right?
And he's struggling, and he eventually, you know, like he figures it out and he kicks his butt or whatever, right? But like that's believable because you're like, man, he's got his work cut out for him, right? Like it's just like
yeah, exactly. Like you can't expect a scrawny like skinny girl to take out the like several muscular dudes. Like it's just not gonna happen, right? They're just gonna block her fist and like
that's that's I mean that's just poor writing for the character. I like, again, I mean, some people will believe it and be like, "That's great," but I don't like that. I've never have. There's a video game that we were playing, or I was playing recently. It's called Ghost of Tsushima. It's about a Japanese uh, samurai, and the Mongols take over his island, and they start killing people and they start pillaging all that stuff, right? And because of a samurai's code, you never fight, you know, like you never fight sneakily, or you always fight head to head. Like it's always like honor, death before dishonor, right? Like they follow a certain code, but he has to break that code, and because the way that they fight and the way that how big they are, he has to learn to fight a different style, and so he becomes sort of a ninja. And that's why it's called the Ghost of Tsushima, because he starts like assassinating these people, but it's looked as he's he's dishonoring his family's name because he's trying to save his family doing a different thing. But like stuff like that is well written into the character, and it's like,
that's
man,
interesting. Yeah.
it's a cool. It's
like layers to it, right? Like
exactly,
it,
and it's like that's what you would want in a character. Like you've played Tomb Raider, yeah?
The first one, I think I played through the second one, but I don't remember as much. But yeah, the first
not the original one with like the triangles, like
no, the newer was it
one.
called Squaresoft or whoever did it?
Square, yeah. So like 2003, I think, or something like that. I forget. Something like that.
Really
13,
good,
maybe.
Really well done.
Great games. If you play those games, Lara is going through the craziest trials and tribulations to become what she ends up becoming, the Tomb Raider. And it's awesome. Like she's like fighting big old dudes, and she can't take them out like that. She's small. She's not built to freaking take out a tank, you know what I mean? But like she goes through all these things, and it's like
I often died thinking I could do it, right? Like that's why she ends up having the bow and arrow, because she's gotta be from a distance to take out those big dudes.
You have to do a lot, and it's really freaking cool. She does it. It's awesome. It's a great game. Like that's really what I want. That's what we were talking about, the Phoebe Waller-Bridge with the Lara Croft show, or the Tomb Raider show that she's doing, and that's what I want. I want her.
I agree. Like if we could get that, like the game, like I don't want to say just make the game, but like take what is great about the game and apply
like she kills her first kill in the game, and you could tell it takes a toll on her.
It affects her. Yeah,
it affects her really bad. It's dude, how awesome is it? Like that's what I want. Like why can't I get that? Like it's like
that's good storytelling. Yeah, I think
let's just come on. It's not even that it's a video game and it's interactive or whatever. No, like that's a cutscene. You know what I mean? But you feel the emotionality of like, man, look what I just did. But then you get like games like Uncharted, Drake, and that guy's like a mass murderer. He's like killing everyone.
Yeah,
like the amount of people you're killing, and you're like, and like it's like a gallery shooter. It's like you're just killing, but never do you stop to think, man, I could just kill like 30 people.
Yeah, you need. I mean, that type of action, like you need to have a humanity of some sort, right? Like you can't just be. Like what you're saying when Captain Marvel gets her powers, right? There has to be implications. Like she has to have something go through her mentally, emotionally. So like, something has to happen. She can't just be like, okay, now I'm Captain Marvel. I guess this is how it is now. Like, that just doesn't work. Like, I agree with you. That's why I agree with like I loved what they did with Tomb Raider. It's a great game. Even like Uncharted, it's a really well done, well written, right? I think that series is highly regarded as well.
That's great games. They're awesome.
And God of War that I've been trying to play through, so good. That's all story driven, right? Like that's all.
Oh, that's a phenomenal game. Which one are you playing? War one or
the first one? Yeah, the first one with the boy.
Yeah, dude, that one's. Well, I mean, they both have the boy, but man.
Oh, I didn't. Well, spoiler. I don't know.
Spoiler alert. I mean, I don't know how you would not get spoiled. It's like the second one's like he's on the cover. It's like,
oh, okay.
I don't know.
I just picked the first one.
It's like if I said, it's like if you told me Mad Max for Furiosa dies. It's like this is a prequel.
Right. You're like she's in the second one.
She's in the second one. But yeah, man, I just it's interesting what they've done in terms of like storytelling, and I think to fit a narrative I think it makes for poor storytelling, and I think eventually there's going to be a collapse that is going to cause them to have to rethink and do everything in a different way, because it's just not everyone's going to want to keep watching that style of filming because it's like nobody cares for it. I mean, like we always say, the proof is in the pudding. People are voting with their wallet. They're not watching these things, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's true. Okay, I want to get into one more thing that I wanted to get your take on, but we finally got a full trailer for this guy, the Beetlejuice. So let me just read the synopsis real quick. It says 3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River after an unexpected family tragedy. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life soon gets turned upside down when her rebellious teenage daughter discovers a mysterious portal to the afterlife. When someone says Beetlejuice's name 3 times, the mischievous demon gleefully returns to unleash his very own brand of mayhem. So we got a full trailer. Michael Keaton's back. What are your thoughts on this? I know you're a fan of the first one.
Dude, I am. Dude, trailer's great. I want to say this because you had mentioned it, and I don't want to say that I took that, but I also want to tell you that I noticed the same thing. I love that they're using the original sort of CGI kind of thing of like the monsters and where it looks like really crappy, right?
Yeah, it's like that old
it's just like old
90s flavor, yeah.
Exactly, and it just it works, and it's really awesome. Like I love that because it took me back a sec, right? Because I'm like, why isn't this look so awful? Like the airplane looks really bad.
Like this is like, the stop motion kind of claymation looking style. Dude, yeah, it's true. I like it. It fits so well with the original, right? Like it
does, yeah. And I think it's gonna I think what they're trying to do, and I might be mistaken here in my little pigs with a side of bacon here, but is like you watch the first one, then you go into this one, and it's just gonna fit naturally into its sort of film. You could tell that it's a little bit like there's something about the cameras. They're like a lot higher definition for sure. Like look at these pictures, it's crazy. But that girl, let's go back to the image before, and I forget her name, Monica Bellucci.
Yeah.
So from what I read, she is. I don't know if you remember the first Beetlejuice, but he offers the ring to Winona Ryder's character, and the ring finger that he offers her is hers.
Right, she's missing a finger.
She's missing the finger, and it's
I thought that was really cool too.
The wedding, it's the wedding finger, and it's hers. And I was like, that's
a cool tie.
They did a good job. But a great trailer. I like the song. I know a friend of the cast, Lex, usually says that it gets overdone, but I think we both share the same sentiment. If it is done well, like we enjoy it, and I think they did a good job. Winona Ryder kind of she acts a little strange in the film. I don't know what it is, but it's like I gotta watch the trailer again. But I remember thinking like, man, it's odd the way she's delivering these lines. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you notice anything like that,
like
or am
weird, like not her normal self, or like not Stranger Things level, or
like I don't know. Just I guess Stranger Things Winona Ryder is how it feels like.
Maybe
like what she's telling her, I'm like, don't say the name. Right here, I am serious. Like it's a little odd. I don't know why.
I am serious. Oh yeah.
I think it's because it is Stranger Things.
She's still in Stranger Things mode, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think it's smart to have Jenna Ortega in there for like the
front of the cast.
Front of the cast, younger audience. I think his one little line, what's his name? Justin Theroux. I think it's funny they're adding more people. Like I don't think William Dafoe was in the first one, right? Like
no, he's a brand new character.
Danny DeVito, was he? I don't remember if he was in the first one.
He's a brand new character as well.
So I think it'll be fun. Do you think that they're setting up for a trilogy because of the title, right? The title is Beetlejuice.
Dude, yeah. Then Beetlejuice.
Like, are they? Did they have to do one, right? Like, they have to do one more.
I feel like they would have to, but I don't know how they would. We would have to watch this one to see kind of what's going on.
How well it does.
It seems like Beetlejuice is there to help the family. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like he's there to do ill will, because I think they take Jenna Ortega his character, and it looks like he seems to be with Winona Ryder going to the underworld or whatever, because it's like, can the real world and the dead world exist. Or I forgot how he says it.
Oh right, can they coexist?
Can they coexist? And then he lights up the bomb wall. And so I'm assuming that they're gonna go try to help find the daughter, but it could be that Beetlejuice is trying to marry that girl so he doesn't die. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like he's a pretty mischievous dude.
True, he's a trickster. I feel like I don't know. He definitely slides back into the character though.
Oh yeah, so well. It's crazy because we got this he did I think back to back Batman and Beetlejuice at the same time, like in '89, right? If I'm not mistaken, when it came out, the originals.
Oh,
and then he dropped 2023. He came back as Batman, and now he's coming back as Beetlejuice in 2024. I think this movie would have dropped last year,
right?
But I think they pushed it,
the strike and everything.
Yeah, and also they pushed it, but it would have been cool if he dropped it back to back, like doing it. That'd be pretty sweet.
Dang, we're gonna I mean, this is so funny because this is one of the movies where I was like, we don't need another Beetlejuice. Like, this is just playing on nostalgia. But now I'm like, I kind of want to see it. I kind of want to see what happens. They got me with the trailer. If it's done well, right? If it's written well, I think we're all for it. Okay, let's get into one other bit of news that I wanted to talk to you about. This guy. And you wrote me a little synopsis, actually. Let me pull up the notes real quick. Actually, I lost the notes, Ernie. They're gone. Where are my notes? I'm sorry. So, well, I guess we can just talk about it. So they're making another Jurassic World, and Gareth Edwards is the one directing. Didn't he direct? Did he direct the last one? I know he directed the first one. I think he's directed all three.
I got to double check on that one. Let me check for you, but go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was trying to get you to talk so I could pull up the news.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, you're fine. Which is a new one. It's called Chaos Theory, yeah? That's the cartoonish. The cartoonish. The cartoon.
No. Okay, I found it.
Okay, go.
Let me read it. So Rupert Friend has landed the starring role in the new Jurassic World movie, directed by Gareth Edwards. Friend, it's just funny they just say Friend, like Rupert Friend. Friend, known for his performances in Wes Anderson's Asteroid City and the Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh my gosh, he's Admiral Thrawn, right? Is that Admiral Thrawn?
Yeah.
From the wow, I totally forgot he was in that.
Well, I don't know if that's the guy, but he plays one of the guys. He's like bald.
Yes,
yeah. I forget his name though.
He joins the cast including Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. Miguel Garcia Ruffalo is also set to appear in the film. Miguel Garcia. I don't think that was. Since the project is cast furiously ahead of production to start mid-June in London, Universal will have a tight turnaround in post-production as the studio is set for theatrical release. Oh, that's not good, bro. July next year? That's rushing it. I feel like I hate when they have a fast post-production turnaround time because then you're going to get CG that's just like rushed. Just like, we got to get that shot. We just got to put it out there. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, I know. I saw this like trivia thing on IMDb. It's like Gareth Edwards dropped everything to direct this movie, stating, "I was about to take a break and start writing my next idea for a film, and this is the only movie that would make me drop everything like a stone and dive right into it. I love Jurassic Park. I think the first movie is a cinematic masterpiece." Yada 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 yada.
I mean, yeah. Like I understand his sentiment, but I am really worried that like when they rush like production, like especially like remember we were talking about Into the Spider-Verse, right? Or Across the Spider-Verse, and they're like, "Oh, the next one's gonna be out next year," to like feed off that momentum. Like, no. You sit there and you do it right until it's ready to go. I mean, I think the cast is interesting. I'm not sure about this movie though, bro. Like, we need stuff that ties it into at least world, right?
Well, I mean, it's Jurassic World 4. That's what IMDb has it as right now. So I'm assuming that it's gonna follow the same universe, like in terms of like, it's not a reboot, is what I'm trying to say.
Are they trying to do a new trilogy like they're doing with Apes? You think? Where
most likely, I mean,
like new cast but loosely based.
Now in total we have 6 Jurassic movies that are all what's it called, like
Canon or what?
canon? Yeah, that exactly. They're all canon, so we don't it's not like we don't need them, but like it's not like they can't do them, you know what I mean? Obviously it's money. Jurassic World did really well. Like it's made its money, you know what I mean? And like after those movies came out, they dropped all kinds of IPs after the fact, like cartoons for kids, like stuff like. And
that's true. And then the Universal rides, like the parks, like they've expanded on like the rides and the world.
Yeah, they added stuff to it and all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's really a successful brand right now. I think it's doing well. It's just that I feel like they need to do, if they're gonna make a new one, they need to do it right. I mean, I love that David Coemp. I don't say his name. Koepp. Cope. David Cope. He's the original screenwriter for Jurassic Park and The Lost World. He's the one that's written the script for this new installment, so that's encouraging.
But I think he's gonna be like, he's gonna start it off and then they're gonna go away from whatever he did. It's like he's just gonna start off what the next chapter is, watching the saga. But I want to say, but I want to ask you this, Jace. Like, I know we both are Jurassic Park fans. Like, we love the movies and stuff, and it's near and dear to our hearts, right? But like, what do you want? Like, what would have you buy pre-order tickets right when this movie drops? Like, what's the thing that's going to sell it to you? Like, what do you want? I know you're going to be like, a good story and this. No. I mean, like, I need more than just that. Like, what do you want? You're muted, so no one's going to know what you want.
I think what I would want is going back to that first movie. Do you remember when he was gonna, at the end, he was gonna like take some of those dinosaurs and then like turn them into like weapons and like I want Dinobots, or what's it called? Dino Wars. Remember Dino Wars?
Yeah.
Not Dinobots. That's another one I would like to see. But like somehow, we've mixed the technology to let me look up Dino Wars. Do you guys remember Dino Wars? Those old like 90s toys? Dude, this stuff would be so cool, dude. I think it's like this one. I used to have this stuff when I was a kid. And yeah, dude, this is like the stuff, dude. Look at this. They're like modding the dinosaurs. The guys are like riding on top of them. And like this is out of this world. Like this is for kids for sure. But like if they could tell a cool story where, I don't know, like they mix future with dinosaurs. I don't know.
You want like it kind of seems like what they. I mean, this looks cool as heck to me, but it kind of seems like they're gonna try to. For me personally, what I want to see, and I think this is probably not the best thing to do, but I feel like they should follow the Planet of the Apes, where eventually the dinosaurs just take back the world. You know what I mean? Cool. And like either they live with it or people are just dying. Like that's what this is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the last one we got like them trying to stop that. But what if now we end up just getting it fully? Like one of the best scenes for me for Jurassic Park. I love the first one, but the second one when the T-Rex is in the street. Do you remember this?
Yeah, and he's like walking through where like the swimming pool was.
Dude, how freaking cool is that? And then he like looks through the kid's like room like with his eye or whatever. And I'm like, dude, that is freaking awesome. Like I want that. We kind of got it in Jurassic World here and there, but it's like we didn't get the full effect of it.
Yeah, there's a very soft spot on my heart for the Lost World, dude. The Lost World where the T-Rex does escape. That was so freaking cool. But this guy, right? He ends up dying at the end, but like spoiler, but like what his plan was to like weaponize the dinosaurs. Maybe you could go that direction. The reason why I was so disappointed in the third one is I thought we were gonna get that, right? I thought we were gonna get dinosaurs running amok, like finally taking over, like terrorizing, and we got those like ridiculous shots of the beginning where it's like, oh, dinosaurs are just a nuisance now, right? Oh, they're trying to, the pterodactyls are trying to nest in the top of the buildings, and you see them in the snow every now and then, but it's like I'm like, dude. the dinosaurs would be killing tons of people. Like I don't know what kind of world you're living in, but that was the weirdest part to me. And so I felt like they already ruined it. Like I would love to see it, but I feel like they already ruined it by kind of like brushing it aside at the beginning of the third movie. I don't know. I agree with you though, bro. Like if they could do something like that, but I don't know. I'm a little to be honest, I'm a little burnt out on like the third Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. Like I would rather them start from some new content, like start something fresh. Maybe that's what they're planning. I don't know.
That would be a reboot, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, right now it says Jurassic 4 or Jurassic World 4, but what's stopping them from like just changing it up and like being its like a new thing? Who knows? I don't know.
They got all the right ingredients right now. Like we always say that, but like the producers Frank Marshall and Patrick Crowley, they're executive producer Steven Spielberg. They got the right writer from the first one. The cast is looking good. Like they could do it. They just need a good story. I just feel like that's what we're waiting on. Right? Hopefully. Did you hear that what's his name that passed on the on he was going to be in the I can't think of his name. This guy, Glenn Powell, was going to be in the movie, right? But he said he doesn't want to do any movies that are French or no. He doesn't want to do any like Marvel franchise movies, and he doesn't want to do Oscar baity movies. He wants to just focus on like regular content. I was like, that's interesting. I wonder why.
Maybe he doesn't want to be like a big name for like once you do like a Marvel IP or a Jurassic IP, like you become that. Like that's like
Chris Pratt is a chunk of your time too, right?
Yeah. Like Chris Pratt is Star-Lord. You know what I mean? Like most people know him as Star-Lord. Now he's kind of expanded, right?
Yeah.
Now he's Garfield, right? But he's expanded. But you know what I mean? Like I think that's why, like Chris Hemsworth, Thor, Captain America. You know, like you just get branded that. So it could possibly be he doesn't want to be that sort of like type of actor, which is nothing wrong with it, but
true. Yeah.
So
well, was there any other news that you wanted to cover for I was gonna look on like Twitter and stuff, see if there's any.
I have a few things on here. I saw did you see that picture of The Rock?
No. Which one?
It's like a new to Benny Zadfie or Zafty's movie coming up that's called The Smashing Machine. And it's like the first look at Dwayne The Rock Johnson as this like boxer. And it's on our podcast show notes if you see it. Like it's crazy because it doesn't look like him.
This guy?
Yeah, you see
it? Oh, yeah, it looks way different.
That's supposed to be The Rock.
Oh, wow.
If you can post it up so the front of the couch can see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have the screenshot. This guy. Wow, it doesn't look like him at all. First look at Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and it's an A24 film. Smashing Machine.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild, dude. It's supposed to. It's I wrote.
Is it just his hair? Is it just because he has hair? He looks different.
Yeah, I don't know. It says The Smashing Machine is directed by Benny Zafty, who also co-wrote the script. The story centers on Kerr's career and personal struggles, including his battle with addiction, his victories in the ring, and his relationships. Mark Kerr is a celebrated figure in the MMA world. I'd said boxing, it's MMA, with multiple championships and titles to his name. So that's what this image is. It's just a random image that just popped out. There's no trailer, nothing going on. I think the internet was kind of talking about it because it's The Rock, but you can't tell it's him. Like I was like, I didn't even know it was him.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, like, did they change up his nose?
I think the bottom of him is The Rock, but the top, like, of nose up is like they changed him up.
I mean, it's definitely the hair, right? Because we're used to seeing him bald.
Yeah, but also look at his eyebrows and his nose is a little bigger. But I might be wrong.
I think they did some sort of prosthetics, I think. So his makeup is crazy. Oh, man. The juice is loose. That's cool. I haven't seen that one. Nice. What else? Any other...
Dude, go to the podcast show notes, bro. They're all there. There's a bunch of cool stuff that I wrote down. Oh, there was this thing actually that I had put in here. and it was an old article, but I wanted to talk to you guys about this actually. I want to see if it came out, because I feel like I had it here, but here it is. It's an IndieWire article. It's the one with Frasier, and they were talking about like why TV dialogue is hard to hear for users, and like it essentially goes into this thing about the televisions and how the mixing for the films and like movies is so different. So like Amazon, I thought this was really cool. Amazon Prime Videos, like they're trying to create this like dialogue boost that's like AI driven, that is supposed to amplify the speech and like the background noise. And then I think Samsung's also doing a thing that's and Samsung and Sony are also doing this like dialogue settings that like future like a boost to mids and high pitch sounds to like enhance their vocals. And there's two other things I'm going to get into, because Roku's doing also a dialogue enhancement where it increases the speech of the volume separately from the other sounds. So like essentially you're just going to be able to like be like, I want to hear the voice more. And then LG is doing an AI acoustic tuning and AI sound that uses the AI to adjust the dialogue clarity based on the room's acoustics. So I'm assuming it's going to be like, you know, when you wear a headset for like an Apple headset, and you put on that thing that like takes noise around you and like it muffles it. What's that called? I forget what it's called right now. It's on my head.
The noise cancellation headphone?
The noise cancellation. Thank you so much. So I think that whatever LG creates next is going to essentially do that. Like it's going to do that to boost. Yeah. Which I thought was like, it was crazy. And this is an article from like May 4th, 2023 that I've had on the back burner, like that I've been wanting to talk to you about, that I thought was really freaking cool, because I've been watching, well, I've watched things with subtitles all the time because I like to read as well as watch, and especially primarily when I'm watching like anime, which I've been watching One Piece and subbed, and so I'm reading for the most part. But there's times where me and my wife are watching, what were we watching the other day? I think it was the movie. I think it was that movie, My Fault, that I was telling you about on Amazon Prime. It's like a Spanish movie, but you can watch it in dubbed. But we're watching that, and some things like that they would say, like I couldn't tell what they were saying, and I'm like, what the hell? Like I gotta read this. Like, and so we would put on the subtitles, and I was like, and it's funny because my wife wanted to watch it dubbed, so they add English voices and it's different. And I was reading the subtitles, and it's so different from the actual things that they're saying to what they're being written.
Oh, that's always that always happens, right? Especially
so
if you know the language. You're like, why did they write that? That's not what it said.
Yeah, it's so strange. Sorry, I had to fix my deck here.
This is crazy because most TVs or most like entertainment systems that you buy will have some sort of boost the voice, right? Like they have some sort of voice boosters, like, but it's just like a setting that like tries to knock out some of the treble or some of the midtones, right? Like the background noise. But the AI, applying this to AI is going to get really crazy because it can do such a better job of like isolating, like recognizing that this is the person's voice, right? And that's crazy that they're applying this. The other thing I saw that I wanted to mention was I saw the other day where somebody ran a trailer through an AI generator and said, remove all the copyrighted music so they could play it on a podcast or whatever, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
And it does. It totally like, but it's weird because any sort of like music in the background gets stripped away and you just hear the dialogue in the trailer. And it's a good testament to whether or not they're actually doing a good job delivering the audio, like the lines of dialogue, because sometimes the music is what's selling it, right? Like you get a good trailer with like a good song and you're just like in the groove of the song. And you don't actually realize, oh man, they're not doing a very good job acting, right? It kind of masks, it kind of gives you the feeling you're supposed to feel with the music. So it's interesting, bro. Like the way they're applying AI is just, there's so many uses. Like every day or like almost every week, like I'll get like notifications of new like startups, like people that are starting up new things this is a great application for it though, because a lot of people do, especially older people, they're like, I can't hear what the television's doing, or they don't have a good, sound system. So this will be a great way to kind of isolate and
I mean, most new TVs are like loud, yeah, but they're not like as because they're so thin. It doesn't have like the best speakers. So like essentially, you need a sound bar for most of your content. Like if you really want to get like the full immersion of a video or a movie or something. Like,
well, yeah, usually
TVs
the
don't really.
TV speakers flatten everything out, right? The TV speakers give you a lot of middle of the road sound.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like
friend of the cast, Junior, right? Like our brother-in-law, he would tell you, he'd be like, "Oh no, if you want crystal clear, you got to get
you got to spend money.
Range. You got to spend money." Yeah, and a lot of people don't do that, right? They just buy the TV and then that's it.
That's it. Yeah. I bought a sound bar, like a pretty decent sound bar. I don't even use it. Like it's.
Oh, you should, bro. You should use
it. I don't have the space. I don't have that like room to be watching. Like if I was able to be in my living room a lot more and no one was there, I would put like things pretty loud. But no, it's like it's just like it's just there collecting dust. But it's a good.
You just got to you just do a good set of headphones, and that's probably the best way. Right?
Yeah, for now. I mean, right now I have these like Razer ones that are pretty decent. They're not like the best. I've gone through a ton of like headsets. I had like Astro A40s and A50s and all kinds of stuff, and they're like $300. They're like stupid expensive, and they're great headsets. But I don't know.
Sonos just came out with a headset. I'm excited for that. I just like my sound system setup now is all like Sonos, and I'm like all into Sonos right now. I was like
Sonos for your computer.
Sonos for the TV, like the entertainment center is all Sonos right now.
Wait, you want to use a headset for your entertainment center? Is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying the brand that I love for.
No, I know, but you said they're gonna bring in a headset.
Came out with the autos. Yeah, came out with a headset. So I was thinking maybe I'll get that quality like when we're traveling or something, like we're sitting on a plane and it'll be like, ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. But I love that.
I know a lot of people wear those Apple ones, right? The Apple.
I have those.
AirPod Pros.
Dang, not the AirPod Pros. AirPod Maxes.
That one. The Maxes?
Yeah. I have a Max. I freaking
the over the ear ones. Yeah.
I think you guys here. This is my little small honest review of those great headset. Like I love it. I thought I wasn't going to use it, and I use it every day. Like I constantly use it. I clean the house. I wash my car. Like I'll go to the gym with it. Like when I go to the gym, I put little things on the side, so because of my sweat, and like on this it has it as well. But that's neither here nor there. I just want to tell you that because it's a terrible material for the gym.
But you're like, I use it for everything, right?
But I use it for everything. Yeah. So like it's a great headset, but you can buy a way better pair of earphone or headphones for much cheaper in another brand. Like you can buy the Sony ones for far cheaper. You know what I mean? And they're better quality.
Right.
So yeah.
It's crazy though that they're applying so much AI to just the way we're gonna hear things that it almost takes over the original artist's intention. Or maybe if it's somebody that embraces it, they can probably enhance like whatever system that you are using. Maybe it can make it more of what the director intended. I think it just depends on the tool, right? But everything's getting AI enhanced in it. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm a very like bleeding edge. Not bleeding edge, but like cutting edge. Like I like to try new things and see what works.
Yeah, I mean, I like that too. I think my favorite thing. I mean, I don't like AI like because it's gonna do a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of damage to things here and there. I think artistically, like with images and videos and stuff like that, it's gonna be wild. But that does have its good, uses. But I think my favorite thing that I've seen is people using AI to change the voice of someone to be in a different language, because I love being able to
cool.
I love to be like, you should watch this Japanese movie. I know you don't want to read it, but here's the AI version, and it sounds like how he would if he was speaking English or something like that, and that is freaking awesome. Like that is like when things are enhanced to make you love something more is I think it's or to share it with someone who might not otherwise want to watch it. I think that's probably my favorite thing about AI, just in terms of like what it's doing. But yeah,
this was the clip of what it when I first saw it. It was this one, right? Okay, it bleeps it out. I just want to make sure.
Stupid.
See,
on this stupid tower in the middle of nowhere. And I don't blame you, and now we're stuck on this stupid freaking tower in the middle of freaking nowhere.
This one they change it.
And it's all my fault.
That's so cool, dude.
Proms.
I'm excited for that. Like, imagine like you could be watching Netflix. Everybody gets to like experience it, right?
Stuck on this
the people that are actually doing the voice actors, going back to the voice actors, they can track their performance and then they can apply it to the. Oh man, that's gonna be cool. I'm excited.
It's gonna be wild, but that's the thing. It's like doing this is gonna be like the actors are gonna be like, I should have been paid for the Japanese version.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be
I don't
something
know how they're gonna work
like
out the money, but
there's gonna be like a thing where it's like I need a thing
on this stupid tower. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. Like dialogue replacement. Like if they could do this, like you imagine how many like anime shows you can watch and it'll just.
Oh yeah, dude, that'd be really cool. There's some things that, I mean, I'll read them, but there's some things that are out there that are like,
because some people won't they won't sit there and read a subtitled show, right? Like they won't even bother. They're like, oh, I don't want to read. This will allow them to have like a seamless experience. Dude. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No. Yeah, that's exactly what I would have said.
I'm sorry, bro. Sometimes I get excited and I talk over.
There you go, dude. Get excited, dude. I'm glad. I talk a lot anyways. But yeah, I think, dude, Jace, if I may, I think we're at the end of the podcast here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, friends of the cast, for being here when we drop an episode it's every Thursday usually, right? But today we're here on Saturday, the Lord's Day, as they say, doing God's work.
It's a special, special Memorial Day.
It is a special Memorial episode. Dude, Jason, what's the thing I always say? As always, I would like to thank the audience for us. I messed
from
up.
The heart, dude. Do it
from the heart. From the heart. Are you ready? As always, I would like to thank the friends of the cast for tuning in every week when we drop an episode. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you. Please follow us on Instagram and on X. Man, that sounds so weird to say. I don't know why every time. It just throws me off. At Watch Closely Pod. There I and Jason will be there to talk. Maybe voice audio message you about our thoughts on Furiosa. Who knows?
There we go.
We'll be there though. Chase?
Yeah, dude, I'm excited for you to see it, dude. If you're gonna watch it, I'd probably watch it again if you guys are gonna watch Furiosa. But thank you guys for joining us on this special occasion. It's been fun hanging out, talking movies, talking things that are going on in the world of entertainment, and it's just good catching up with this guy, dude. I enjoy talking to this guy. Thanks for having me on, Nerdy. It's good. I know you're muted right now, but
no, you're good, dude. I'm glad. I'm glad. Because could you imagine if we like disliked each other and it was like you were doing this every time? That would be.
Oh God, this guy again. Come on now,
man, dude. Where's the song, dude? You're supposed to be playing it, dude. On the way. Oh wait. That's me.
That's you, bro. Okay, here we go. There's the outro music.
Yeah, hurry before it starts talking. But continue, please, saying how much you love me and such.
That's all
I'll
you
sit
get.
back. That's all I get.
I hope you guys have a great 3-day weekend. Just go do something fun. If we do barbecue, that'll be great too. But yeah, just want to say thank you guys. We appreciate you guys, and have a good 3-day weekend. Go do something fun.
Yeah, I'm. If you guys hit us up on Twitter, I'm curious to hear your Memorial Day things you guys do. Not everyone does stuff. Yeah. Goodbye.
All right, guys.